Do you want more success, more growth, more results? Then it's time for the Boundless Success Accelerator from the Modern Observer Group. This isn't your average coaching program. It's where top performers come to dominate. Weekly group sessions, on-demand coaching, a community that's got your back, and a power-packed library of tools to supercharge your business and career. No more excuses, no more waiting. Get in, level up, and start building the life you've been dreaming about. Visit us at modernobserver.com/boundless success to join today. Let's get you to the next level.
We're here because the news is being distorted. We're here because people are being inundated with misinformation on social media. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
A government shutdown looms. The UN gets the spirit of DOGE. Inflation slows, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said Democrats plan to vote against the latest GOP funding bill and shut down the government. Senator Raphael Warnock, a Democrat from Georgia, claimed the GOP bill is extreme, but that it must be weighed against the effects of a government shutdown. If it passes, it will hurt a lot of ordinary people on the ground. If the government shuts down, that will hurt a lot of ordinary people on the ground. And so that's the dilemma in which we found ourselves, Warnock said. The bill includes a 6% increase in defense spending and leaves all other spending at its current levels. Government funding will lapse at 12:01 a.m. Saturday if Congress doesn't act. Republicans cast Schumer's remarks as risky posturing. A Senate GOP aide said there was only one legislative vehicle available to the Senate that will keep the government open beyond Friday night, and that's the House-passed bill, and Democrats know it. The European Union has reacted to U.S. President Donald Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum imports that came into effect Wednesday, retaliating with its own punitive countermeasures that it said were needed to protect consumers and businesses. The White House confirmed the duties late Tuesday, but said that Trump no longer planned to raise tariffs on the metals from Canada to 50%. The EU responded, saying it would impose counter tariffs on 26 billion euros, or $28.33 billion worth of U.S. products, including beef, poultry, bourbon, motorcycles, peanut butter, and jeans, starting in April. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Wednesday told reporters that the EU must act to protect businesses and consumers. Despite the claims by von der Leyen, the United States does not import steel or aluminum from the EU, and so the EU would not be affected by the U.S. tariffs. She also neglected to mention the existing tariffs that the EU has on goods from the U.S. for decades. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres announced the UN 80 initiative on Wednesday as a project in honor of the international body's 80th anniversary. On paper, the initiative aims to improve efficiency, review the implementation of mandates, and restructure the system. However, several UN critics claim that this is the international body's way of bracing for potential U.S. spending cuts. This goes far beyond the technical. Budgets at the United Nations are not just numbers on a balance sheet. They are a matter of life and death for millions around the world, Secretary General Guterres told reporters on Wednesday. He denied that the UN 80 initiative is a version of DOGE and said it was not a response to possible U.S. cuts. The head of the organization DOGE UN, Hugh Dugan, dismissed the UN 80 initiative as an effort to send a great big Hallmark greeting card to the world. He's had 8 to 10 years of opportunity to start what he's calling for now, and there is not enough time in his remaining 18 months or 19 months in office that could provide any reason to think that his team is going to pivot and set the world on fire in ways that would be a foot race with whatever Elon Musk is doing, Dugan said. New Hampshire Senator Jean Shaheen, a Democrat, announced that she will retire at the end of her term in 2026. Kamala Harris won the state only narrowly in 2024, and the lack of an incumbent might make the state one of the most competitive Senate races in the coming midterms. The center-right Democratic Party won Greenland's parliamentary elections late Tuesday night. The party supports a gradual path to independence from Denmark and opposes annexation by the United States. We don't want to be Americans. No, we don't want to be Danes. We want to be Greenlanders, Democratic leader Jens Fredrik Nielsen told Sky News. Prices for goods and services moved up less than expected in February, providing some relief as consumers and businesses worry about the looming impact tariffs might have on inflation, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Wednesday. The Consumer Price Index, a wide-ranging measure of costs across the U.S. economy, ticked up a seasonally adjusted 0.2% for the month, putting the annual inflation rate at 2.8%, according to the Labor Department agency. All item CPI had increased 0.5% in January. Excluding food and energy prices, core CPI also rose 0.2% on the month and was at 3.1% on a 12-month basis. Core CPI has risen 0.4% in January. Economists surveyed by the Dow Jones had been looking for 0.3% increases on both headline and core, with respective annual rates of 2.9% and 3.2%, meaning that all of the rates were 0.1 percentage point less than expected. Additionally, gas prices hit their lowest level in 4 years. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.